You know that moment, Alex, when you're at the grocery store, your cart is full, you're almost at the checkout, and someone needs to get past you in the aisle, and they say something and you just freeze?
Oh, completely. Because you heard them, they said something, but your brain didn't catch it fast enough.
And then they're already gone, and you're standing there like, wait, what just happened?
The worst part is, it was probably 2 words, maybe 3.
It's always something so simple. And yet,
The grocery store is honestly one of those places where so much English happens, so fast, so casually, and nobody prepares you for any of it.
nobody at all. So today, let's just talk about it. Like we're walking through the store together.
Yeah, let's just walk through it.
Okay, so Alex, let's start from the very beginning. You pull into the parking lot of a Whole Foods or a Kroger or a Walmart, and before you even get inside, what's the first thing that happens?
Someone is walking out as you're walking in, and they hold the door. And you say, what do you say, Mia?
You say, "Oh, thank you so much."
Yes. And they say, of course, or you bet, or just, and keep walking.
You bet. I love that one. I remember the first time someone said you bet to me, I thought, bet on what?
Right? It sounds like a gambling phrase.
I was very confused, but it just means absolutely, no problem, happy to help.
You bet is one of those very American ways of saying yes enthusiastically. Like, you can count on it. Of course.
And it's so casual, Alex, so effortless. The person holding the door doesn't even slow down.
Because that's American politeness, Mia. Warm, but efficient.
Okay, so now you're inside. You grab a cart, and by the way, Americans call it a cart, not a trolley. Cart.
Yes, very important. I said trolley once, and the person looked at me like I had said something from a different century.
Trolley is very British. In the US, cart. Shopping cart, or just cart.
And then you start walking through the produce section, which, okay, the produce section alone has its own whole language.
What do you mean, Mia?
Like, people talk in the produce section more than anywhere else in the store.
That's actually true. Something about picking fruits and vegetables makes people want to connect.
Right, Alex? Someone picks up a mango and immediately turns to you and goes, "Do you know if these are ripe?"
And you either know the answer or you absolutely do not.
And if you don't know, the American thing to say is, "I honestly have no idea. Sorry," and just smile.
Which is a perfectly acceptable answer. Nobody expects you to be a mango expert.
Although, after a few trips to the grocery store, you start to become one by accident.
You really do. You learn things you never expected to learn.
Okay, so let's talk about the big one. The phrase that catches everyone off guard in the grocery store aisle.
Yes, the phrase is, excuse me.
Yes, but it's not just "excuse me, Alex." It's the way it is used and the way people respond.
Right, because excuse me does so many different things depending on the situation.
So, first situation. You need to get past someone in the aisle. Their cart is blocking the whole thing. They're reading a label, totally in their own world. You say,
Excuse me, could I just squeeze past you?
"squeeze past." I love that phrase.
It's so visual. Like the space is tight and you're physically squeezing through it.
And the person immediately moves and says, "Oh, of course, sorry about that."
Even if you weren't bothered at all. Even if there was plenty of time. Americans apologize preemptively, before you've even had a chance to be inconvenienced.
Which is so interesting. The person blocking the aisle apologizes more than the person who needed to get through.
Because blocking someone's path, even accidentally, feels like a social crime in American culture.
Not an actual crime. but close.
Very close. One step below cutting in line.
Speaking of cutting in line, Alex, can we talk about the checkout line? Because that is where the most English happens in the shortest amount of time.
It really is, Mia. You go from 0 to full conversation in about 30 seconds.
Walk me through it. What happens when you get to the checkout?
Okay, so you put your items on the belt, the cashier looks up and says, "Hi, how are you doing today?"
And you say?
"Good, thanks. How about you?"
That exchange right there. That is one of the most important things a beginner can learn.
Because how are you doing today at a checkout is not a real question about your well-being. It's a greeting ritual. It means, "Hello, I see you. Let's do this transaction pleasantly."
And good, thanks. How about you? Is the correct ritual response, not a full emotional update.
Please do not give the cashier a full emotional update.
They have 17 people in line behind you.
Exactly. "Good, thanks. How about you?" And then you both move forward. Smooth, easy.
And the cashier will say good, or doing well, or can't complain. Which, by the way,
Can't complain? Yeah, that's a classic American phrase.
it means things are fine, not amazing, not terrible, just fine. And I have nothing worth complaining about.
It's a very American attitude, actually. Practical contentment.
How are you? Can't complain. And life goes on. Okay, so you're at the checkout, items are going through, and then comes the question that genuinely confused me the first time I heard it.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Paper or plastic?
Yes, the first time I heard that, I thought, paper or plastic what? What are we talking about?
It sounds like a riddle.
It really does. Paper or plastic. Choose your destiny.
But it just means, do you want a paper bag or a plastic bag for your groceries?
Although honestly, and this is something that's changed a lot of grocery stores in the US don't even ask anymore.
Right. California banned plastic bags years ago. A lot of other states followed.
So now, in a lot of places, the cashier just says, "Did you bring your own bags?"
And if you didn't, do you need a bag? And they might charge you a small fee.
Which, the first time that happened to me, I was completely caught off guard.
That'll be $32.50 plus 15 cents for the bag.
And I thought, 15 cents for a bag? But I smiled and said, that's fine, because what else do you say?
That's fine is such a useful phrase in those moments. It means, I didn't expect this, I'm slightly annoyed, but I'm not going to make it a thing.
Polite acceptance of minor inconvenience, a core American social skill.
What about when something scans wrong at the register? Like the price comes up different from what the shelf said?
Oh, this happens more than people think. And a lot of learners just let it go because they don't know how to bring it up.
Which is completely understandable. It feels awkward to say something.
But it's really okay to say something. And Americans do it all the time without any drama.
What do you say?
You just say, sorry, I think that rang up wrong. It was showing a different price on the shelf.
I think that rang up wrong. That phrase. So polite, so non-confrontational.
Right. You're not accusing anyone of anything. You're just flagging a possible error with "I think" at the front to soften it.
I think does a lot of work in American English. It turns a statement into an observation. Less aggressive, more collaborative.
And the cashier will almost always say, let me get a price check on that, or let me check that for you.
Price check. Another grocery store phrase.
Very specific to the grocery store world. A price check means someone is going to verify the actual price of this item right now.
Sometimes they'll call it over the intercom, which, grocery store intercom announcements, that is a whole other English experience.
Oh, completely. The intercom voice.
Okay, grocery store intercom. Because this is something that can genuinely confuse you if you don't know what's happening.
You're just minding your own business in the cereal aisle and suddenly, Attention, Walmart shoppers!
That specific phrase, attention Walmart shoppers, which basically means everyone stop what you're doing and listen for 1 second.
What do they usually announce?
All kinds of things. We have a special on chicken breasts in the meat department today. Or a customer vehicle in the parking lot has its lights on, license plate.
Oh, the parking lot announcements. So mortifying if it's your car.
Everyone looks up from their cart thinking, is that me?
Even if you came by bike.
The guilt is universal.
And sometimes the intercom is for staff. We need assistance in aisle 7, which just means someone needs help in that part of the store.
Or Register 3 is now open, which is the announcement that starts a small stampede.
Every single person with a full cart suddenly speeds up.
The most competitive moment in grocery store culture.
Let's talk about the self-checkout, because I feel like self-checkout has its own completely separate experience.
Self-checkout is, it's a love-hate relationship for most Americans.
It's supposed to be faster, but it never actually is.
Never. There's always one moment where everything stops and the machine says,
Unexpected item in bagging area.
which sends a wave of stress through your entire body.
Every time, even when you've done nothing wrong, even when the item is completely expected.
The machine has opinions, very strong opinions about what belongs in the bagging area.
And then you wait for the attendant to come over with their little card and fix it.
And they always say, no worries, I've got it, and tap something and suddenly the machine is happy again.
No worries. Such a reassuring phrase. Like, this happens constantly, you did nothing wrong, let's move on.
Which is honestly the perfect response. No drama, no explanation, just no worries, I've got it. Done.
I've started using no worries in every area of my life because of the self-checkout attendant.
That is genuinely the best possible source of life advice.
What about asking for help in the store? Like when you absolutely cannot find something.
Which happens to everyone, every single time, no matter how often you've been to that store.
Stores move things. That is their greatest power. You knew exactly where the pasta was for 6 months, and then one day, gone.
Completely gone. Relocated to a different aisle with no explanation.
So you find a store employee, they're usually wearing a vest or a uniform, and you say,
Hey, excuse me, do you know where I can find the pasta sauce?
simple, friendly. Hey, excuse me. That casual opener is so important.
Right. Not just, where is the pasta sauce? That sounds blunt. Hey, excuse me, softens it, makes it a request instead of a demand.
And the employee will either know immediately, sure, aisle 9 on the left, or they'll say,
Let me think. I want to say aisle 4, but don't quote me on that.
don't quote me on that, which means I'm not totally sure. Don't hold me responsible if I'm wrong.
Very honest, very American. I think it's over there, but I take no legal responsibility.
And you say, oh, perfect, thank you so much, and head to aisle 4, or 9, wherever it ends up being.
And if it's not there, you go back and do the whole thing again.
The grocery store adventure. Never fully predictable.
Can we talk about something that I think a lot of people don't realize is a whole social experience? The checkout small talk.
Oh, like when the cashier actually wants to have a conversation?
Yes, because in some stores, especially smaller local grocery stores, the cashiers are very chatty, very friendly, and they will talk to you the entire time they're scanning your items.
Which is wonderful when you're ready for it and slightly overwhelming when you're not.
Right. You're tired. You just want to buy your groceries. And the cashier picks up your box of cereal and goes, I love this kind. Have you tried the cinnamon flavor?
And suddenly you're having a conversation about cereal.
A full, genuine conversation about cereal.
And the American thing to do is lean in, engage, because the cashier is just being friendly and warm and it would feel rude to shut it down.
So you say something like, "Oh, really? I haven't. Is it good?"
And now you're best friends.
For approximately 90 seconds, until your transaction is done.
And then you say, have a good one, and you're gone forever.
Have a good one. Such a perfectly casual American goodbye.
It covers everything, right? Have a good day, have a good evening, have a good weekend.
All of the above. Have a good one works at any time of day, any day of the week. It's completely universal.
I use it constantly now. It just rolls off so naturally.
Okay, what about when you're at the deli counter? Because the deli counter has its own whole system.
The deli counter is its own universe, completely separate from the rest of the store.
Walk me through what happens there.
So you walk up to the deli counter. This is where they slice fresh meat and cheese. And usually there's a little number system. You pull a ticket with a number on it.
Like waiting at the DMV.
Exactly like waiting at the DMV, but with better outcomes. And when your number is called,
Number 47? Who's got 47?
and you raise your hand or walk over and say, "That's me."
That's me. So simple. But you need to actually say it, otherwise they move on.
And then they say, "What can I get for you today?" And you say,
Can I get a pound of turkey, sliced thin?
"Sliced thin." That's the key phrase at the deli counter. You have to specify how you want it sliced.
What are the options?
Thin, regular, which is the default, thick, or shaved. Shaved is paper thin, almost see-through. People use it for certain sandwiches.
Shaved. As in, shaved off the block?
Exactly. And if you just say regular or don't specify, they'll slice it at their standard thickness.
And then they'll slice a piece and hold it up? How's that look for you?
Which is such a kind thing to do, checking before they slice the whole pound.
And you say, perfect, that's great. Or could you go a little thinner? And they adjust. No problem.
The deli counter is actually one of the friendliest corners of the grocery store.
It really is. There's something nice about that face-to-face service.
What about when you're shopping and you accidentally reach for something at the same time as someone else?
Oh, the grocery store moment of mutual awkwardness.
You both reach for the last bag of spinach simultaneously.
And your hands almost touch, and you both pull back, and
And someone says, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
the other person says, No, you go, I insist.
And now you're in a politeness standoff over spinach.
Which can genuinely last 30 seconds, both people refusing to take the spinach.
Until one person finally says, "Are you sure?"
And the other says, Absolutely, please. And the spinach is claimed. Crisis resolved.
American social negotiations. High stakes, always polite.
And somehow charming every single time. I want to talk about one more thing. The parking lot after. Because the grocery store experience doesn't end at the checkout.
The return of the cart situation.
Yes, the cart return. Because Americans have very strong feelings about this.
Very, very strong feelings.
So when you're done loading your groceries into your car, you're supposed to return the cart to the cart return area, the little metal corral in the parking lot.
And most people do. But occasionally, someone just leaves their cart next to someone else's car.
And the amount of judgment that gets?
In America, how you handle your shopping cart is apparently a window into your character as a person.
There is genuinely a whole internet discussion about this.
The shopping cart theory of civilization.
So if someone is nearby and you're returning yours, someone might say, Oh, I'll take that for you.
And you say, "Oh, are you sure? Thank you so much."
It's such a small moment, but it's one of those everyday American kindnesses that just feel good.
The tiny interactions that make a normal Tuesday feel a little warmer.
That's what grocery store English really is when you think about it. It's not complicated phrases. It's just warmth, back and forth.
Excuse me. Oh, go ahead. How are you doing? Can't complain. Have a good one.
Small words, big connection.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You know, I used to feel so nervous in grocery stores when I was first learning English. Like every interaction was a test I might fail.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
But it's really not a test. It's just people doing their shopping, trying to be kind to each other in small ways.
And the words are simple. They really are. Excuse me, go ahead. How's that look? Have a good one. None of it is complicated.
Once you've heard them a few times, once they sound familiar, they just start coming out naturally.
And one day you're at the checkout and the cashier says, "How are you doing today?" And you say, "Good, thanks. How about you?" And you don't even think about it.
And that's when you know it's working.
That's exactly when you know.
If today felt easy, if it felt like you were just listening to two people talk, then come back tomorrow. That's what we do here every single day.
We'll have something new for you.
Take care, everyone.
See you in the next video.